AD, is it a red flag if a chick says she's still cool with her baby's father?
No. Like, what is cool? Like, define what does cool mean? I don't
I
think
don't know.
so.
That's his
I
question.
don't, I don't. Do you want them to be at odds?
Right, Quentin. That's all I was gonna say. You want to be enemies or?
Like there's some certain stuff like
Hmm.
I was chopping it up with a chick and I'm like, what you doing for the 4th of July? And she's like going to my family's house. I said, what the fuck does that mean? Nigga, she didn't want to tell me it's her ex-husband.
This is why you don't want to date somebody like that. Not because they're not good people, not because they're not probably somebody you can deal with, but once you have the kids with them, that's your family.
But it's weird though because that nigga is married. Like
Huh?
I don't.
he's married, so that means you're going to hang out with. I guess that's okay.
That
Yeah, I
don't
don't think
matter.
it matters.
I think it's really
Y'all
mature. I
already a
guess
blended family, one big
Mhm.
That's
old.
your family. They coming.
you say that, but like maybe my parents are immature as fuck because I could never see my mama coming over to my dad's house with my stepmom. She is not having none of that shit. Nope. That's
Mm.
That's why I wouldn't do it. I mean, because why would you? Because you can't stop. You don't want to stop the kid from having
but
the
they
relationship with both of their parents.
that kid
So
is 30 plus. I feel like it
yeah,
don't matter no
you're
more.
a parent forever. You're a parent forever. So now all of y'all do have to get along because all of y'all are family, literally.
I don't think
I
I,
look
I
at
don't
it as a red flag personally. I don't think. Okay, so let me qualify what I'm saying. I don't think that it's a bad thing for a woman to have a good relationship with the person that she's co-parenting with. I think that that's a positive thing.
hmm
I look at it as a red flag for a man that is trying to insert himself into her life.
hmm
I don't look at it as bad from a family perspective, from a raising a kid perspective, all of that. I look at it as problematic, so aka a red flag for a guy that thinks that he does not still have access to her. I personally believe that there are some women that just co-parents really well, right?
hmm
I will never believe, even if it's not true, even if I'm wrong, I'm still going to believe it, that that man always has access to that woman in some capacity. And so for me, if you're talking about being in a relationship with a woman, not a situationship, not yo, we mess around, not we go out, whatever, so on and so forth. If you're talking about being in a relationship with a woman, for me, for another man to be able to call and say, hey, what you got up? What my son doing? That's that. I can't. I'm not built like that, bro. I'm not built to be laying in bed and seeing his picture pop up on your phone.
Yeah, this nigga Anton ain't shit.
But that's what
I'm
that's
not
why
built
I
like
say
that.
if you're not going to be fine with it, don't date that because you can't stop any of that. It's already going on.
I
You
agree.
Mhm.
I'm
so
not. I'm not built like that. I can't. I'm not. I'm not on that level. I'm not that friendly. Like I'm not friendly enough to see you. Be like, what up, big dog? How you been, man? Oh no,
But
here's your son.
is that the norm? Like, I don't be going over Angie's like place and doing shit with her family.
well,
Like, no
according
more.
to Chris G, he said he says in the chat, Mika is half white. White people are friends with their exes. So maybe that's why you don't go to Angie house.
Mhm, mhm,
Well,
mhm.
Angie's Hispanic.
Somebody said Jay Reed, for
Yeah.
example, says she better not have a picture when that nigga's calling. Here's the thing: on Apple, you can just cut the other person customize their own shit, and
On
that's how
that
they're
shit.
gonna appear to you when they call you.
You have to accept it though.
And then they're gonna be calling you like this on the they're gonna be smiling at you and shit. And what you gonna do? Say, hey man, don't answer your baby's father. You know what I'm saying? I can't
Exactly.
do that shit. And so it's like, you
See?
know what? Why don't y'all just go ahead and be a family together? That's his girl. I don't care what you say. I'm not built like so. For me personally, to answer his question, it doesn't make her a bad person.
Right.
It's a red flag. So
Well, at least you know she's a family person.
that's his girl. That's his girl. In my opinion, I don't care how single she is. He's you still his. You still his. Now, you may be mine part time, but you're still his or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. So
I know that mine is still mine.
we know you told us that that the other person will never be able to get out the contract. You've told us.
Mine is always gonna be mine. Man, that's my kid's mother. I'm looking at my kid right now. Hell no.
Champions is here.
Yeah, shout out to Les with the gold medal. Won nationals today. AAU nationals. Killed that shit. For the 6th time in a row, I think.
Come in their house, you're getting kicked in the face.
8 times in a row or 6 times? I heard him say 6. Yeah, she resting right now. She laying on the couch.
That's what's up.
Shout out to Les, and she won.
Congratulations.
She won athlete of the year in the entire country.
No, that's what's up.
Yeah, she killed that jump. She got the award and everything. Dope. So shout out to her. Keep your kids active. Make sure that they stay. If you just leave them alone to an idle mind, that's when they start giving up digging pussy. So keep your kids active. I'm telling you, keep your kids active.
Peanut butter.
If you keep your kids active, you're gonna avoid 87% of the bullshit that we went through when we was growing up, bro.
All I know is we was growing up, the activity bus was popping.
The who?
The activity bus. That's the bus because I lived in the ghetto growing up.
It's
the bus that took all the kids home after extracurricular activities because our parents want shit. We was doing the most on the activity bus, nigga. In the dark, nigga, going home at night. Shit. Y'all ain't never heard the activity bus?
Oh my god, I ain't never heard of no activity bus.
No.
First time that I heard
the actual activity.
Oh man, y'all niggas ain't never lived in the ghetto, man.
No, I do remember that they now what I remember was in the hood they had that big ass pool that they was driving. That shit was a former dumpster or some shit. You ain't never seen that?
Driving a pool? Is that what you said?
Okay, so the kids will all play, and it was like this big old, I don't know if it was ever a dumpster, but it was like filled up with water. It was like a mobile pool. It was a big ass pool. It's called the swimmobile. And they would drive through in certain neighborhoods, and all of the kids would swim in that shit. All of the hood kids and shit, they would go and swim in it, and it was a party.
Who was paying for this?
It was just like the city or something. Like it was a swimmobile. It would come through, and everybody would be partying in the pool, and it would just be like driving down the street.
They never made its way to OKC.
I've
never heard of the swimmobile.
Nope.
No, my
parents. In the chat is saying, see?
I think that was.
Yeah, we was real little when that junk was happening because it wasn't when we was like older or nothing, but when we was like little, I remember the swimmobile. The swimmobile would pull down and fire hydrants was lit, and everybody was just be having a
we
party.
did fire hydrants. In the summertime, the fire department would come out in DC.
Man, y'all ain't never heard of the swimmobile?
No, we had the it was a recreation center called Mecklenburg, and we all went swimming there in the summertime.
Yeah, you go swimming at the rat. Yeah.
I remember when I went from like the ghetto to like suburban schools, and like the cheerleaders and their cheers were wildly different. And
yep, like, this is what it is. I'm gonna show the picture for you.
Like shaking ass to like actual cheers.
This was a swimmobile. They had it in the 70s and the 80s and stuff. I'm about to show it to y'all real quick. I'm surprised y'all ain't never heard of this before.
First time for everything.
The swimmobile.
Fuck no, bro. The hell is that shit?
That is a
It's
trash.
a swimmobile.
Trash.
Nigga, that's what they put out some when nigga like
That's
big
when they
trash
do
day,
construction.
nigga.
They do
What the fuck?
Stranger danger.
Look, it's literally WDET. This was in Detroit. They will
Nigga,
pull up in the swimmobile
that's
and they
crazy.
get pulled by a Big Mac truck, and all of the kids will be having a block party and they will be playing in it.
Nigga, that's that thing that's outside when we renovated our house when I was a little kid, nigga. That's where we put our fucking trash in, nigga.
Yeah.
No, it
That's
was a
construction.
swimmobile. It's a swimmobile, bro. Y'all ain't never seen that before.
No.
Seriously? Man, the swimmobile was popping.
That's the most ghetto thing I ever seen.
I wouldn't even get in that.
Y'all
bitch.
don't
That
know
shit-
what childhood is
You-
like. Y'all was
Yes,
y'all
I do,
grew up in
nigga.
a horrible era.
We ran through the
You said
grass
we-
with the sprinkler, nigga. not that shit.
We did that too. But y'all don't understand, man. That was a real thing, man. Swimmobile, that junk was popping back in the day.
No.
And
I
it
mean,
was
we had a-
operated by the Detroit Parks and Recreation. And they would pull up.
Niggas wasn't getting sued and shit because they was hitting the
Yeah,
head at the bottom of the
dangerous.
dumpster.
Man, there wasn't no suing back then. People was running it up.
That's true.
That looks dangerous.
It
It's
does
not,
look
listen, let me
dangerous.
show you something. That was the ultimate, that the swimmobile was the ultimate bringing white and black people together, bro. It was a real thing, man.
I mean,
It's
white
a novel idea.
people can be ghetto too. I mean, but I don't understand. The whole thing is just ghetto.
Yeah,
No, it's not. It was fun.
that shit is.
Heads
Yeah,
off.
that's hood as
It was
fuck.
fun, bro.
Those ladders look like they move.
Yeah,
They
nigga. Like
did.
you make one step, it's a wrap.
This is how I know.
On the
This is
concrete.
how I know. This is how I know that y'all soft in this era. It's different for y'all. Y'all soft.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Because y'all talking about lawsuits and ladders. And all of this shit.
What you talking about?
Nigga, we was just, yo, ice cream is popping, neighborhood is popping, music.
You had an ice
is
cream
popping,
truck? We had ice cream truck.
Swimmobile is out there. We about to go and have some fun, man. Back in the day, like, nigga, we wasn't thinking about parasites and shit. We was drinking out the water hose. It just was what it was. You wanted to stay outside as long as you possibly could, because if you went in the house too much, then you was gonna have to stay there because you was
Hey,
letting out
yeah,
too much of
nigga.
the heat.
Good air, nigga. Yo,
What?
So it was just,
you
it was
letting
just
out too much good air, nigga. You keep your ass in the house. That's what Grandma Luby used to say. Shit.
So what you supposed to do? You can't go in the house.
Nigga, like 2
When
times.
you
Nigga.
keep coming in and out, you're gonna have to stay
You have to
in.
stay. You gonna have to stay in or stay out.
Yeah, one of the two. You can't
So
keep letting
wait,
out the
if you're outside in the summertime and you get hot, you can't come in the house.
Not to cool off, nigga. You better go to
No,
somebody
still-
else's house, nigga, with some air conditioning money, nigga.
And it's a water hose over there in the backyard for you to get some water if you want to get some water, and you go out there.
Your mom used to say, McDonald's money who? Oh man,
That's
that's
wild.
funny.
Yeah, you just stayed out there and you turned into a darkie. You know what I'm saying? Because the sun was kicking your ass all day, but you was having so much fun. You never wanted to come home, and you slept good at night too because you wore yourself out. All these kids today, they fat.
Oh, that's what it's
They-
for.
They all got they fat, they big, they always gotta have a phone. It's not the same, bro. That's why nobody got no social skills because nobody developed anything when they was younger.
Prior, contrary to
We played
popular
every
belief,
sport, nigga. Every person played every sport. You played every sport, every game. You played tag, baseball, nigga. You played
this nigga
basketball.
said tag as a sport. He played every sport. Tag.
It was a sport because when you got done pooping, and when the sun go down, either you're gonna play tag or you're gonna play I forgot what it was called.
I ain't
Go
never
and
heard
get
that
it,
one,
some
bro.
shit like that. Hide and go get it. Yeah,
Hide and
you gotta
go
play
get
hide and
it.
go. The amount of energy that you was exerting said it was a sport.
That's facts. I
No,
remember we lived in the hood, and we was like the only people with a basketball goal. And when we come home, nigga, and try to park in the driveway, and the kids wouldn't fucking move because they'd be hooping on our shit.
we had season passes to Six Flags over here.
Yep, got those. Ours is Frontier City.
Because in DC, like it's in PG County, so we would drive like 30 minutes and just Six Flags every weekend in the summertime.
Dog, listen, let me tell you something. It was so crazy back then. I was telling Leslie, my daughter, the other day, I said, man, you growing up way different than I grew up. But you're still growing up better than all of the kids today because you have structure and good parents. And well, yeah, I'm talking about like her childhood, right?
Gotcha.
But here's the thing though. Even when I look at these prom pictures, nigga, prom for us, stunting at prom was going to get your uncle's car or your brother's car that was fresh as fuck. You know what I'm saying? They got whole. It's like they spending a bag on these kids nowadays. Oh, you get fresh. If you was matching your chick and you can get your homeboy, your uncle's car or something like that, you won. You was a winner. It wasn't this complicated. You know what I'm saying? And it's so tripped out again because I'll be thinking about it. And it's like the barrier to entry, like what our idea of going out of town was going to Cedar Point, bro. Like the whole thing was, the standard was this: you go to prom. If you was really popping, you might somebody might rent you a room overnight.
Get you a hotel.
Yeah, somebody would get you a hotel overnight. If you really was popping, right? If you was really getting to it. And then the next day, everybody went to Cedar Point, which was like 2 hours away. You would drive down to Ohio, go to Sandusky, and go to Cedar Point. And everybody did Cedar Point. And the big thing was like if y'all all did like a senior trip together or something. This shit is different, bro.
I grew up.
Everybody talking about this young nigga scamming, trying to fly chicks out and stuff. Like, man, I don't even remember getting on a plane
now, nigga. Shit.
I don't know. It's different, bro. It's just different now, man. It's way.
We did the stretch limos.
Yeah, that was the thing.
We did the stretch limos and like they put us to your house.
That's the rich people. We had 3 high schools in my city, and like we had like all of our prom separate, and then we had like a combined after prom, like at the theme park.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Like the theme park?
What's
like,
an after prom?
Like you had your prom, and then there's after prom. You didn't have no after prom?
I'm glad I probably didn't.
It's like the prom was like from like 7 to 9, and then after prom was like elsewhere.
No.
Shit, y'all whack, man. We had like an after prom. That bitch was over like at 1:30.
Oh no.
It was like all the 3 schools combined.
On there and back.
Bro, let me tell you something. Our lives was so different back then. We had kiddie clubs, nigga. Like
what?
They had that in Florida.
Real club. It was a it was called a kiddie club, but that wasn't the name of the club.
Yeah.
But like it was for people that were under 18.
Yeah.
And people that were under 18 actually went to the club, but it was just for young people. It was only for people that were under 18 years old. And they did serve alcohol, but niggas was dancing their ass off. They was dancing their ass off.
Drinking Dr. Pepper, nigga.
Yeah, they had that in Florida because my family was in Miami. And in Miami had one, and my aunt took me to that. She dropped us off. You had to be 17 and under.